Got a t-shirt? Hey, this is Pam at the Paper Outpost. Want to take a treasured old t-shirt with maybe some cool graphics on it, something that was meaningful to somebody. And this was given to me by a person who's very special to me, and I want to go ahead and turn this into a junk journal. So let's do that. Okay. This t-shirt has a cool graphic on it, and I thought that might be fun to use. All right, so I'm going to take a book. You can take any size book, but just make sure it's the size that you'd like to work with. Let's see, this particular book is 8.5 by 5.5. That's not a bad size for a junk journal. Okay, so I'm going to take off the outside, and you can save this for later because you can use this for all sorts of things in the world of junk journals. And then we're going to gut the book. There will be no blood unless it's mine, but let's hope not. So I'm just going to remove the text block from inside the book. I'm going to pull the cover wings of the book back, open up that little space there, and then gingerly, slowly, with my craft knife pointing more towards the book block than the covers, because I want to keep them intact. But it's okay if they tear, because we can always work around them. Because these covers are going to be, yes, you guessed it, covered. Okay. And usually that will get us going pretty far. At least gets us down to the deeper sections. Sometimes it comes out like one swoop, like that. Sometimes you have to do a few swoops. Now the second side is generally easier because you're not there. Well, you know what I mean. We're not worried about that page. Okay, there. Oh, gone. Okay, so I have this text block, and I can close your craft knife, work with that. Got lots of wonderful pages to work with in here for some other project. But for now, we're just gonna put that over there. Okay, so now what we have is the nice thing about working with a book cover is that the spine is already handled for you. Now that's nice because especially if you're just starting to junk journal, having this part handled is awesome. And we just go from there. That's it. We just go from there. I'm going to maybe shave this off a little bit more just so it's not in our way. Okay, I'm gonna grab the scissors. I know, these are my, you're not supposed to use your fabric scissors. Do what I say, not as I do, okay? There you go. These are my fabric scissors. Okay, it happened. Look, that's out too. All right. Okay, now what I would do is, you can use this as is, but I am going to reinforce it just a little bit with some fabric because I think that's going to lend itself to the, it's going to give a little bit more strength to the journal. And because we're going to secure it right through this, where it's going to be an exposed spine, so we're going to see the strings on the outside. Now don't worry if you don't want to see the strings on the outside. All you have to do is cover it with a piece of paper or a piece of material, and then you don't see the strings on the outside. So technically this is going to be called an exposed spine. But now let's go ahead and pick out what sections we're going to use on from our beloved t-shirt here, which we don't have much. We don't have arms. We just have chest and back, okay? But the chest part there's a lot of graphic here, so I think I can use, I really think that's kind of cool. And this will not go to waste either. We will have plans for that, but I think I'm going to work with this first of all. And then I've got the book under there, and I can kind of figure. You want to at least have an inch or so extra on either side because you're going to be wrapping it around, and you want to have enough material. So yet again, I'm grabbing my, let me back out a little bit. Yet again, I'm grabbing my fabric scissors. Okay, so now I want to have a little bit north. See how north I can go. Okay. I can go as north as the collar goes, so that's going to be my cutting point. I don't really want to sacrifice the wings here, but I might have to because they're a little bit higher than the collar point. We'll just leave them on there for now and see if I can work them into the design. If not, then so be it. They're gone. But yes, it is now being cut. It is now free from its original t-shirt life, and it's going on to future business. Okay, that's right. We all have to reinvent ourselves at one point, right? It's a good thing. Okay, so I'm going to go for at least an inch above and at least an inch below. Okay. I'm not cutting through the back at the same time. I'm going to go there. Okay, I think that's kind of cool. All right, there we go. Okay, does that give us enough? Yep, that gives us enough. I'd like to get that on there. Okay, so one little trick is, this is the front cover. Okay, first of all, I'm going to reinforce the spine, and I could actually use some of this. Let's see, what do we have here? To see if we can use as much of this as possible. There is a, the company that made the t-shirt is here. Maybe I can work that. Let me get my pinking shears. This is a great job for pinking shears. And if you don't know what pinking shears, they don't turn anything pink. They give you a zigzag stitch cut. See that? So I'm going to try and cut that out. All right. Straight line as much as I can. All right, here we go. Yeah, there. Okay, this is probably more than I need, but I'm just going to take, better to get more out and then not need that much. That's what I'm thinking. Okay. And the other nice thing about this t-shirt is it's very fine, it's very thin, and it's going to work well with, it's not going to bulk up the inside of the journal. Okay, so I obviously don't cut very neatly, so I'm going to have to work on that a little bit. That's okay though. I'm going to do a couple things here. I'm going to cut that off at the end. What I'm going to do though is straighten this out a bit. There we go. No, you know what? I just changed my mind. What we're going to do is we're going to save that piece. And I'm going to get a different piece of fabric. Hold on, because I have an idea for that piece. Okay, I'm back. And I'm saving this piece because I'm going to make something out of it. But I've got more t-shirt left. And I thought, being true to the situation at hand, the cause, I am going to use this for the piece. But I'm going to do something to it and make it more the way I want it to be. So I'm just going to cut a strip straight as this gal can, and we're going to work with that. So hang on to all your t-shirt because you never know where you're going to use it. All right, now very simply, I'm going to use some Fabrifix glue, clear silicone glue. Glues fabric to fabric, fabric to paper, paper to paper. And am I recording? Yes. Okay. All right. But first I want to decorate this up, and I thought it might be nice to make it a little bit darker. Yes, that's right. Okay, so we've got our old friend Black Soot, and we've got our old dauber friends in the dauber drawer. But I think right for this one, I think this is the black. I don't know, I came across this brush and I just really want to knock this back a bit. So I'm darkening it up. And you can do this a lot of different ways, but this is just giving it more of a grayscale. All right. Okay, so now my little white piece of fabric is now darker. And this isn't really going to show a heck of a lot, so I'm not going to spend a lot of time doing something to this because it's going to be covered by the spines of the signatures that are going to be inserted. And a signature is like a little mini book that you put inside here. But what I would like to do is darken up the edges of this just a little bit. And I'm going to go to this kind of a dauber. Yeah, because I think the edges are going to show most. So I want to ink those and grunge them up a little bit. This is a good grunge fest going on here. Nothing like a good grunge-orama. Yeah, make it look like it's been around the world and back. Yeah. Okay, I'm just going to put... And you can take this and you can like do stuff like that and get like a little patchwork design going on there to give it more intrigue. And you can rubber stamp on it and you can stencil on it and you can do all sorts of fun stuff. Okay. But yeah, I definitely want those edges. All right, there. Okay. So now we have that. Let me wipe that up like a good little crafter. I think I do have one dry baby wipe left, but thank goodness I have my handy dandy squirt bottle, which is always handy to have. And you can actually wipe it up with this. I mean, that might actually make the color transfer more and stuff. So let's just do that. Use what we got. All right. Little black bits everywhere here now. Okay. Because my dauber is disintegrating, apparently. Okay, there we go. What do we got? Oh, yeah, that's exactly exactly what I wanted. Okay, it's perfect now. Perfect. Let me get a little more on the ends. Yeah. Okay. There we go. Now we're talking. A little bit more up here. Yeah. There we go. Okay. Now, let me just... Where'd my little baby wipe go? Okay. Sorry, I never did use it. Okay, I'm cleaning my little desk because there's lots of black here. And I think it's okay because this journal is going to be very dark-based, gothic style. And the black will go fine. Okay. So, a little tip is to cover your front and your back. Now this journal, strangely, this book is white. It doesn't need a lot, but I'm going to show you how to do that just in case you want to do it. It's not really a hard thing or anything. But basically you just take some paper that is cut to size. Kingdom for a pencil. There's one. Okay, it might be a pen. Doesn't matter. Put that under. Okay. And we're just going to need maybe... Oh, we're going to put that there so we don't have to measure too much. Okay. And I'm just going to need... Oh, that didn't really go there. 2 of these. So you can technically measure them. You can cut them at the same time. So I'm going to get 2 pieces of white copy paper, printer paper. And let's see. But just something to block the color of your book underneath. So that's often a concern because it'll show through a white t-shirt or whatever paper or fabric you might be using. You're going to notice that you can see the paper below. The way to get around that is just glue some white blanks on the top. These are a little bit long, I thought so. My measuring capabilities leave something to be desired, to be improved upon. Okay, let's just go ahead. You can do a good solid 1/4 inch smaller than the actual face of each. Then you don't have any hangover. We don't want hangover. No, 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 no. Okay, that one. Okay, we're going to have to go a little narrower too because Pam is horrible at measuring. Okay, that's right. All right. There we go. Yeah, you want to see a little area around each so that when you put them down to be glued, you're not running into any issues. I think we're pretty good at it. Let me make it a little thinner. I would just sleep nights better. I'm gonna cut it on my my little guillotine cutter. I'm over here like a pro. There we go. I'm just gonna square it all up because it'll just work better. Okay. There we go. All right, so now I got some that'll definitely fit on the inside. Okay, perfect. And they're far enough away from the spine. You want to keep it away from that little U, like where the spine connects, that little U there. It'll just make it easier for you to glue it down. Okay, I think I'm going to glue it with Fabrifix. You can use a glue stick here. Okay. You know what? I think I am going to use a glue stick. It's a little bit flatter of an application. All right. I'm just going to glue stick the whole thing down. And I'm using Scotch Permanent Glue Stick. Seems to be a good one. No complaints right now. Everything seems to be working fine with it. All right. Here we go. There. Now, in here. And if you can see through that, you can always put another layer on top, which I might do. I'm going to put the fabric over it and see if I can actually see the red letters underneath. If I can see them, then I will go ahead and do that. But if not, I will just do the one layer. There's not much impedance on the back. We're pretty good. So here's my fabric in question. No, I don't think that's going to show. I don't see anything there, so I think we are good. Okay, let me see if actually this shows. Yep, that does show. Not a big deal, but I'm just going to cover it. It'll make life easier. I've got a little piece just looking to cover the red part. Nothing too dramatic here. Everything's still, I'm just going to cut it on the guillotine cutter. Hang on. I've left the building only momentarily. Trying to do the right cut. Okay. A little thinner and obviously a little shorter. All right. So how's your day going? Are you having a good day? Yep, just hanging out here with the paper. All right, let's see how we did there. It's narrower. I think it's fatter on this end. Oh, there, okay. To there. All right. So yeah, it's fun to make journals out of different things that you might have at home, and a lot of us do have favorite t-shirts. Maybe you have concert t-shirts, or you know, your favorite beer or sayings and stuff like that, and you just want to immortalize them because you know they do have a life, and eventually that t-shirt is gonna not be present any longer. It's just gonna fall apart. So now we're gonna breathe new life back into it. Okay, so that wasn't too bad, right? All right, so now we have a base to work with, and now we're going to glue this onto here, and this is where we are going to use the Fabrifix. Okay, we have enough to go wrap around the edges, but let's go ahead and glue. See if I can put it right in the middle of the 1923. That's where I'm going to try and land it. All right, so I think I'm going to start with some. You can use this glue stick or Fabrifix, but Fabrifix will give you a stronger hold. I'm just going to do a base of glue. This is just so I'm sure I get the corners. Okay. And you want to get in that little divot, or else it'll pooch back out at you, and you don't want that. And you kind of got to work a little bit fast here because your glues will dry. So just get her moving, Sally. You know what I mean? You just get her moving. You get in the little divot and you go over it a couple times to keep the glue wet. You push all that stuff that should have been put away, which I did have an absolutely clean desk this morning. And then I crafted and it was all over. Yeah, you know how it goes. Okay, so that's a nice bed of glue stick to get the main show started. Now I'm going to come in with some Fabrifix to get a little bit more strength. Now the deal about Fabrifix is you're going to want to smoosh it so you don't have, get in there. And then get in there, that you don't have bubbles and bleed through. It's usually not too bad if you smoosh it as best you can. Okay. And if it's, you know, a disaster happens, you can always cover it up. It's okay. Yeah. And we have our ways, so don't get too worried. Maybe practice on an old t-shirt first. Okay, so now the trick with the smooshing is you want to smoosh out to the edges, and you want to do this relatively quickly and knock over all your glue bottles while you do it, because that increases the intensity of the experience greatly. Did I put any on the spine? I don't remember. Let me go back here and put a little bit. Okay, there we go. And on the spine, getting it to the edges, important. In the little valley, it feels dry now to me. Going back in, a little bit more. Okay, you're probably dry now too. There. And yeah, off to the edges. Yeah, the finger works very well here as a tool. Okay, it's nice and tacky now. Now would be at a perfect time to lay this down. Okay, here we go. And we're laying it down. Okay. I want to go north enough, and I want to put the 1923 in the middle. North. North. You gotta get norther. More north. Okay, there. All right, we've got 1923, and we want to get in those grooves. You just get in there. This is a great to have a bone folder right now, too. Just stretch your little t-shirt out. Make sure you got enough for wraparound. Okay. There we go. And where is the bone folder of bone folders? Here it is. Okay, I seem to have a little bunching here. Let me go in and correct the bunch. You can do it if you get it, figure it out early. Yeah. Do a stretch. T-shirts will stretch and give you some give. And then take a bone folder or whatever you have, butter knife end, not the sharp part, but the other side. and just do this and get that in there. And if there are some little bumps and valleys, it may work out to your advantage if you're planning on going over it with some inking at the end, because it'll pick up the little raised edges and this and that. Okay, so now with this, we're going to come around and we're going to glue it. We're going to have to decide what we want and what we don't. We don't need all this, so I'm going to remove some of that. This is probably a little bit long. It's going to yield too much bunching up, so we're going to remove that and just leave. But save this because it's got some graphic on it. We might do something with it. Yeah, so these are kind of fun to do for people's birthdays or Christmases. If you want to give them something different, something unique. Now, you may want to ask them if you can take their t-shirt. Don't just take their t-shirt. Now, this is where we want to put that baby in. So here's our little spine situation. But no, yeah, is that going to be... Well, am I going to do something? I think I'm going to do something on these pages first. So I'm going to put this on the very end, on the top. I'm going to put something on here. Hold on, I got to find something. Hold on. Okay, now I've got some cool scrapbook paper that has some dark pages in it. I don't want too many flowers. But this old writing looks kind of cool. And then I've got this old, like, on the board. When you know you got in trouble and then you had to go explain yourself. That I think we might put in here. That's going to look pretty cool. And I think this is going to work. I'm going to lay this exactly where I would want to put it. I'm going to check to see where I want it to go. I want it to be to the left of where the book connects to the back. So, and there is going to be some... There we go. That's not bad. I think that's on an angle. It's not bad, actually. All right, let's try this. Let's hope it works. And that looks pretty good. And then I want to fold it up. This is me doing anything not to measure. I don't know. It's the way I was born. Okay, so I'm trying to fold this up. So I only have to cut once. So let me go cut this. I'm just going to cut here and a little sliver at the bottom. And that should yield 2 equal-sized pieces, if I've measured right. I use that term very loosely, you know. Okay. So this came off. That came off. And I still have to cut them apart. Back I go. Okay. I'm now over here. And I'm cutting them apart. I'm a little nervous because this is somebody's, I think, beloved t-shirt, and I don't want to mess it up. So, all right, there we go. So that's going to go there. That's good. Okay, so now we're going to glue this down, and I am going to, not yet. Not yet. We are going to glue this down first. Yes, this will go down, and then this will go on top of the folded parts. So let me place quite a bit of glue. Here we go. We really want this to meld in well, attach, glue itself. Whoops, I did that too soon. I'm just actually doing the outer edges right now. Okay, that's all right though. We know what we're doing. Okay. All right. That'll all be worth it in the end. It's okay. It's all right. Okay. I'm going to use Fabrifix for a little bit of reinforcement here because we want this to stay tacked down nice. So the easiest way to do is do your corners first. Do a blob, said blob, and another blob. Okay, and you can mush them around a little bit if you want. Not totally necessary though. And then this is the way I do it. Oh, this is a little long. Let me get rid of this. We don't need that much there. Curled up on me. Okay, now we're going to put this here like a corner. Same here, like a corner. Try and, if it's curling, try and get it to uncurl. It'll be flatter for you in the book. Okay, and here. This is a case of curly t-shirt. It might happen to you, so just do your best. Okay, there we go. And this guy. That's it. Okay. I think this is a little long too. Yeah, it's with the curly t-shirts. They have recoil. That's where you get the curly t-shirt. Okay, but as long as you get that corner covered, and that's what you want, is that little golden corner covered. Now we're going to come around. Yeah, and we're going to put around the world glue. Okay, and this is, oops, around the world right there. Do that. Come down here. All around, and all around, and meet where you started, the beginning of the world. And then just do a quick finger smoosh. We need to get moving here and get this all glued down. Make sure there's a little divot in there too. That's important in the spine. Okay, now I like to start from the spine first. Come up, come down, and then we kind of pull this taut. All right, it doesn't have to be perfect here because this is going to be covered. Okay, a little extra glue there. That's okay. Never hurts to have a little extra glue. Okay, and you might have a little bunching because it is stretchy fabric, but that's okay because you might like that when you do your inking later. Okay, put you over there. You might be a little long. We don't need all the excess of you. No, no, no. Okay. Now I like to start. This kind of stuff is better if you start from the middle, I think, and then moosh up, moosh towards yourself, towards thine self. Okay, here we go. All right, and we are on. Okay, and then we're coming down the home stretch here. Boy, I hope it looks good on the other side. We're going to find out in a second. All right. I seem to have like a lot of excess here. That's okay, though. We'll just go with it because I have an idea. All right. A little bumpy excess there. Let's see if we can get rid of some of that. You don't need all that. Okay. All right. And just try and make it taut on the corners. And you can always put book corners and stuff on there too. So if your corners didn't come out perfect, still going to be okay. Don't want you to give up yet. All right, so now would be the placement of these on top. All right, so put you over here. Now I'm going to, this doesn't look straight to me. I need to go straighten this. I apparently cannot cut at all. Let me see. Which side didn't look straight? This side. There's a warple. I see a warple. I know a warple when I see one. Just go back in there and you de-warpleize it. That's why we have all these fancy cutting tools, so we can just carry on. All right. A little bit of a bump there. Let's see if we're going to remove that extra fabric. We really don't need it. Okay, that's good. All right, so this is in general what it's going to look like. I thought it would be kind of nice. How am I going to do this? Hold on, I'm going to grab the sewing machine quickly. No, it won't take long. And I've decided I want to reinforce these just a little bit. So I grabbed this old manila folder. It's just something a little bit thicker. It's not really manila. It's an old hanging file folder thingy majiggy. And let's see if it's long enough. Oh, geez, look at this. Like magic. It just fits. All right. Well, nobody planned on that, but it's working, so we're not gonna fuss with it. But we are gonna. Can I just? Oh, I better cut it. Hold on. All right, just cutting this piece. Yeah, don't do anything crazy, Pam. Just lightly snip that edge off. Okay. Now I have one piece, easier to work with. And I'm just going to glue these on here. That'll make them a little bit thicker, so then I glue them down, they're going to be better. I can't believe that fits. It's a miracle. Okay, you saw it here, folks. I literally just pulled that off my shelf without. It's probably because of the book size. Yeah, we'll just go with that. It's because of the book size. Okay. And this is just going to give a little bit reinforcement to this paper because it's going to be holding down those fabric pieces, and because they're a little bit bulky, I want to give them something to push them down, that bulky edge. All right. Just going to come this way a little bit. There we go. Got one down. Okay, so yes, I did pull my sewing machine out for a reason because that's coming next, actually. This is going to demonstrate how to gum up your sewing machine in 2 seconds or less. by Pam. Okay. Line at the top. Push down. There we go. And we are good. Now I'm just going to cut these apart. Hang on, I'll be right back. There's a smidge overhang. I'm not too worried about that. So I'm just going to cut that smidge overhang off. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. Okay, that smidge overhang is no more. It's gone. I'm just cutting the edges of this. Okay. And cutting in between these. All right, let's see how that is. Oh, can you one more slice off? Hang on. All right, so now I have these, and basically they're just backed. That's what I got. So now what I'm going to do, hopefully, you never know with the sewing machine, it's very temperamental. Not always. No, it's usually user error, and that would be me. Okay, now I have removed the thread accidentally. I will now go replace the thread. Hold on. Okay, I'm still fuddling with this. I'll be right back. Well, guess what? Now, in the pursuit of time, that is not working. So I'm going to instead ink up the edges more so with this. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. And then I want the black, which is here. And I'm going to get this little really sad dauber. I need to get a new one. It's literally falling apart. But they don't make the new ones like they did the old ones, because the old one I lasted forever. And this is just not. Nope, as you can see, it's not. Okay, that's okay. It's coming apart. But this is, even though the page is black, the extra black enhancement is making it extra black. Yeah. Very cool and gothic-y. All right. No, we can't do any spring flowers in this one. Nope. Nope. All right. Okay, let's see. All right, I'm just going to do that technique. It's done all over the world. It's very famous. Yep, you just handle your mess like that. There's so many little pieces here right now, I can't even begin to know where to start. Okay, we have these. Now this is going to still look really cool because it pops now. See that? That looks really cool. So we're just going to glue these down. It gets pretty easy from here on out. I know that was a little bit of sweating there, but it's not that bad. It's really not that bad. And once we get the basic cardstock, I'll show you some cute ways to decorate this. But this is, we'll get the basic steps of decorating with your, now I cannot emphasize enough the cornerage here, how important this is. And I see sloppy cornerage going on, so we must correct that. Okay, here we go. All right. You want it right. And then you're going to finger smoosh again, because it's very hard to get right to the edges. So, all right, there we go. Smoosh, 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 smoosh. And that really does good. You can use a paintbrush, but you're just going to have a gluey paintbrush. And the stuff does roll off your fingers. It's okay. It's okay. All right, there we go. All right, here. And now we're placing. It's all about placement. I recommend doing like a corner and working from there. A piece of, there we go. The black dauber stuffy. Okay. There. And yep, looking good. Looking good. Make sure alignment is good. You get in there with your fist and you iron it down. This is hand ironing. There we go. That's looking really cool already. I want to show you the back until we're done. Okay. Same thing here. See, this part doesn't take long. It's all the fuddling, which could have been avoided easily, but it wasn't. So that's how it went down. Yeah. Now you probably shouldn't glue right on top of that, but it'll dry. Okay, we're doing that. And then we're going to come in. Oops, glued right on it. That's okay. You get in there soon enough and you can get the glue off because it'll roll off. There we go. And then, okay, let's go over here because that's where we need to be. Did I ink this? Yes. Okay, just double checking sometimes. I'm telling you, it's not that easy to make videos, craft, talk, and have it turn out right. It's a little tricky sometimes, so, but we do our best. Okay, there we go. We've gone around the world with the glue. We are now finger smooshing to the edges, bringing the glue right to the edges, and we're relatively generous with the glue there. We're not El Cheapoing on that, no. It would have been nice if we could have sewn it, but you know, that just didn't happen. Okay, and we kind of want to align it where so it kind of looks in alignment with that. You're rarely going to see these 2 pages at once because one will be at the front and one will be at the back. So don't have a cow if they're not actually perfectly aligned. It'll be okay. That down. We need a little more glue here, I think. See some uppityness going on. Okay, there we go. And now we're ready for our very fancy other piece of t-shirt. That's right. So that's going to go about like that. So we can dedicate a top now with the pinking shoes. Where are you? Where are you? Okay. Now it is covered at the top and the bottom, so that's good. Let's get to it here. Now calling that the top. And we're going to ink this little edge a little bit more. Okay. So this is the way it's going to go. Like that. It'll look very dark and mysterious. There. Now often you're going to lay this down and then cut it, and then it's still going to be too long because as you're trying to stretch it, as you're trying to place it, it stretches a little bit. So you can cut it at the end. It's a little tricky either way, but it can be done, and I would say go forth and try it because it's only a t-shirt, you know what I mean? You got to live dangerously sometimes. Okay, so what you want to do is get the glue in the belly. This is the belly of the spine. Yes, we're going deep. And you want to get it on the edges too because we're going over the edges and we're going to land on top of the paper we glued down, but just a little bit. But so we don't know how far we're going to go, so don't put too much glue. But you can now finger smoosh away. Finger smoosh. Smoosh inward. I hope maybe I over glued. Oh, okay. You can always wipe it away. Okay. Here's my top. Okay, I'm going in. Going to drop it down now. Okay, hold your breath, everybody. Okay. There we go. I'll get that up. And over. Lay it down. Now, try not to pull too much. Doesn't matter if you do. It's all right. But then you want to spread yourself out a little bit here. And if you're overglued, try and remove that. Now would be a good time. Okay, and you can spread this out a little wider. You'd be surprised. These little stretchy t-shirts, they do stretch. And get rid of some of that. Okay. Okay. Down, 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 over, down, over, over. You totally, you can just read it, position it completely. And let's just say it didn't go well. All right, let's just say, oh man, I didn't measure that right at all. Well, here's what you can do. I'm pulling this all the way over so I'm covered on the one side really well. That's good. This side, I'm a little shy. You know what I mean? This is what you do. You come in here and you trim it where you're going to trim it. Don't go too short. Go long, if anything. Okay. And you can stretch it if you want, but you can just like add a piece. You know what I mean? That's what we're going to do. Okay. Okay. I want to make sure it's pinked on the edge that's going to hang out at the bottom. I think this bottom piece is pinked. So I'm just going to ink that up a little bit more on the edges. And then we're literally going to glue this piece right on top. Because remember, that stuff in the middle is going to be covered. So you're still going to be okay. Yep. Okay. So let's put a little more glue down. There's pretty much a way out of most things, you know, short of atomic bomb or something like that. But, you know, that's like the regular stuff in life. Yeah, we can get through this. We can get through this. All right, where's my pinked edge? I think it's you. Well, you're pinked at both ends. Okay, I'm gonna lay the bottom down first. And just get my orientation. Okay. There we go. Am I recording? Gosh, I hope so. Okay, put that nice and flat. Oh, curling up on me. No curlies. No curlies. That's right. Uncurl thyself. See, I've got glue on my fingers, so I'm re-gluing what I'm trying not to glue. Okay, it happens. It can happen to anybody. Okay, moving that over a little bit. That's good. That's good. And we are golden. Okay, so we are good. So I'm going to remove some of this from my hands so I don't stick to everything. Hold on. Okay, I have removed most of said glue, and now I have also decided to elevate my inking here by making a new little dauber out of a spool and a new little pad. And that idea came from Jessica Rapp, which I thought was a brilliant idea. So I like to mention that because it was a darn good idea, Jessica. Okay, there you go. Now we got to reload. So I'm going to wet. So it's good and juicy. Don't use that side. Rub-a-dub. Yeah. Might take a little bit to get it going again because, you know. Yeah, okay, there we go. And this is a relatively new black soot, so. All right, boy, look at the things starting to fall apart already. Maybe they're old or something. I don't know. I don't know. Well, we'll just see how it goes. Okay, so now we're going to pick this up and see what we have. Ooh, very cool. Very cool. All right, so there is the cover of our book. I'm going to amp it up a little bit with some inking, so let's do that now. Whoops, that's the right side. I think I just need to remove this because I'm going to keep accidentally using it. There. How much ink is there? Now, it's okay if you have inky, nope. It's okay if you have inky fingers because you're going to ink this. Yeah. It's going to look really cool. Yeah. All right. You can come down the sides. Ink them. And this side. And ink that. There we go. There we go. And now, yeah, I'm just going to rub some along here as well to accentuate the spine. And just because this is so cool the way it is, well, I actually like the way that looks. Just lightly on there like that. Oh, I like that whole grunge down look. I'm going to knock the whole thing down with that. That looks actually really cool. Maybe I should use this thing, though. Maybe that would be better. I don't know. Let's try on the back first. Okay, let's just try a little bit of... Oh, that looks really cool. Yes, this is like knocking it down and taking the white away and making the whole thing a little bit grungier and, you know, dark and mysterious. Yeah, that's kind of cool. Liking that. Okay. Start softly and hue yourself around. I think this is a makeup foundation brush if you're looking for these. If I can find a link, I will do that. But these or the paddle brush, the other style, they both work equally as well. You just hold them differently. Okay. You can hue as much as you want. Now let me make sure that I've completed my initial mission. Oh, well, there you go. That's the way it goes. It's a rough inking world out here. Okay, there you go. Over there. Yep. Dark, spooky, scary, mysterious, grungy, gothic kind of look we're going for here. There we go. Now, I think I would like to maybe hue the background a little bit in some gathered twigs. Where's my little broken one? Oh, can't find you. Where are you? Here you are. Okay, so this is gathered twigs. You could also use walnut stain, ground espresso, vintage photo. Well, I'm just going to kind of put a little bit of brown in here and leave the skulls a little more white. Yeah, just like let's do a little random grunge festival going on here. A grunge festival. That's what it is. Yeah, and just amplifying that. Yeah, maybe a little bit. Maybe I'll put something on like a. Well, let's just keep going here and see how it goes. It looks kind of cool so far. Okay. Yeah, that's looking cool. All right, it's just these areas that are different, and not the skull. It's the part I'm trying to keep pristine. All right. There you go. Okay. And you can bring in other colors too, you know, you don't have to stop there. Let's bring in a few more just to give it some dimension. What the heck, we're having fun here. And heck, not our t-shirt. So now we're being very respectful of the t-shirt. Yes, the t-shirt is very important. That's brown, that's black. Where'd the lid go? Oh, there it is. Maybe a little bit of blue, maybe a little bit of green. Broken China is one I've been working with for a long time. Let's try that. I think I have a blue dauber here. How are we doing? What's that? I don't know. Greeny blue. I think I used green and blue together, so we'll just do it. See what happens. All right. I'm just gonna, maybe on the wings, I'll just wet this up a little bit. That should release more of the color. That's kind of cool. Yep. Getting like a little bit of a green-blue mix there. Yeah, who saw that coming? Oh, that looks nice, yeah. All right, let's go with that. This is fun, this is like coloring. Yes, extreme fun is occurring now, right before your eyes. It's happening, everybody, it's happening. So grab your t-shirts, get them out, have some fun. All right, that's looking kind of cool. It's a little bit more. I think I need a little more. Kind of got to go back and forth a little bit. You know what I mean? A little more on the black on the back there. Back in black. Here we go. A little more darkening up around here. Yeah. A little more grunge-roony. Cool. Yep. A little more grunge-roony down here too, and around this area. Yeah. Oh, there we go. Get a little squirt. That will increase your grunge-roony. There we go. Okay, that looks kind of cool. So that was the blue. It looks green, right? I know, it's probably because it was a green dauber. But now I'm actually going to use some green. And maybe I do have this dedicated blue. Let me try this one. I don't want it to be bright blue. No. Well, not, and see if it gets too bright, you can knock it down. You can, yeah. Maybe that was some black. And knock that down a little bit. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. There we go. Yep, definitely knock that down. All right. I'm going to not use the green. Maybe just a little. I can never stop myself. Okay, here we go. A little bit of green. That's a pretty bright green up here. All right. Just on the edges a little bit. Non-committal with the green yet. Just giving it another layer of coloring. And driving it into the material. That's looking pretty cool. Yeah, I like that. All right. You have this looking good. Looking very, very skull-like. Cool. Okay. Black, trying to put the lids on. Almost have them organized, and we are good. Okay, so now, did we glue that? We already have this. Good, good, good. So those little glue balls, they can still be rolled off if worked correctly. Okay, and now we're going to go ahead and put in the signatures. Now I've organized 12 pages, 4 signatures. We might get 3 or 4 in here. I'm not exactly sure. So let's see what it will accept. I'm thinking of primarily a writing journal. Here is 3 of them. I haven't folded them yet, but I just wanted to show you what one was, which I have now misplaced. Where is it? Where are you? Here you are. Here you are. See you. Okay, so what I did, these are the pages. Okay, make sure they're facing the right way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, copy dye pages 6, 7, college rule, some stencil pages, I lost count, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, there we go. So what I did is I did this, toot, toot, toot. Okay, and then I took them and I folded them together. Try to line them up here. And then I grabbed a, where are you? I had a million of you. There's one. One of these giant jumbo clips, paper clips. They're great to work with in the world of junk journals because they allow you to grab so much. And then this is where we're going to grab the bone folder. It's going to help us align these babies. And so we're going to have to do the test to see if it's going to fit. If it doesn't fit, we're going to do some trimming. Oh, it's not a bad fit. There we go. There we go. And there we go. Okay, so I think that's actually pretty good. I could trim this and it would be totally flush, but I think since it's a, oh, look what I've noticed. We have peel. So we're coming back in with a little extra glue. So what we do, I didn't have enough glue there. I can see it. It was part of the curl. It was all part of that curl. Yeah. Just go back in there and you just glue it down. Okay, I didn't go far enough with the glue. That's what it was. Okay. You can put the glue right on the fabric because then it'll glue where it's supposed to exactly. Okay. So now I'm going to go ahead and punch one of these babies. Get this on here. Keeps everybody aligned and together. Like that. Okay, so I'm going to look here. It's going to be really close. I might trim these down a little bit just so I can sleep at night. You know what I mean? So what I'm going to do, I flattened this one already. I'm going to take this one. It's the next one. I'm going to flatten it. Okay, 'cause sometimes they move a little bit, you know, when you flatten them and stuff like this. But this really makes your book much more tighter and concise. It's never going to be as flat as a regular book because I'm not using a book press per se, but it's going to be still really good. Yeah. Okay, so here we go. Give it a gentle. And I would recommend going like from middle, out, out. A couple back and forth. 1, 2, 3, and here's the fourth. I don't know if we're going to fit 4, but just in case. I don't really know until there we go. Get them all beside each other. Go like this, and then put them in the book to see if the book can handle it. I think the book can handle it. I do. I mean, yeah, it's going to do that a little bit, but it'll be all right because as the book gets compressed, remember I'm going to take out these too. So there you go. What else we have is I think I'm going to shave a little bit off the top. Do I need to shave a little bit off the edge? Let me see. I think it's going to be okay edgewise. All right. And there is one other thing I could do where I wouldn't have to do that. No, I'm not going to do that because then I might monkey with the edges. I'm just going to go ahead and shave these down a little bit. And this is how I do that. I do them all at once. All right, hang on. Might need a few extra clamps for this baby. All right. So I'm going to clamp them together at this end. Make sure all the spines are down and uniform and that they're north and south aligned. Okay. That's the important part. Okay, so that on there, and then get this on there. All right, now I'm going to take these off. Okay. There. All right, now I'm going to remove just a smidgeroonie and make sure they're all like aligned because they like to move on you. I'm telling you, they do. And I'm going to clamp that down. Nobody should be moving. There. So what I'm going to do is come across the top with a knife, craft knife. You're going to be in my way a little. I'm going to have to move you over here. Okay. Make sure everybody is aligned. Alignment is everything. Everything. Okay. I think what I'm going to do, I think I can do this. I'll put another one here. That's going to help. If everybody play by the rules. And still, it won't come out exactly, but it'll be pretty darn good. That's how we live. All right, that there, just a smidge. Okay, hopefully that's a sharp one. Just keep everybody pushed down. Everybody hold your breath, stay quiet, and let's see how this goes. Is this the right idea? Is it disaster about to unfold? Well, it looks like we made it through the first one. Probably don't have the sharpest. This would work better if I sharpened the blade, but I've got it pinned down now. It can't get away. It's in the right spot and I don't want to move. Okay. Through 2. And I'll show you how to soften it up a little bit if it didn't cut exactly the way you wanted it to, which sometimes happens. Okay. This will at least give you a good initial... Am I through? I think I'm pretty through. Okay, so that is nice and flush for what it is, but did everybody else stay in alignment? Not bad. Not bad. Okay, so we're going to say that's pretty good. So, to get that top up, oh, you'll never guess what happened. Our old friend Sandy Block had another job and left the building. So I would rough that up with sandpaper, and then I would come along and dirty ink it up again. Like that, to match the other edging. Retract that. This is the brown. Nope, that's stuck. It was originally a coffee dyed paper, so I want to give it that little coffee dyed look again, a little bit with the see, that's kind of a nice way to, there, instantly you've now aged that. You can get in here and age this too. Why not? We're here, the pages are all together. Let's do it. Let's go grunge. We're going full grunge. We're going full, we are no holds barred here. We are full grunge. Now I want to keep these together because I do want to mark them, so don't take them all apart too soon. All right, back in with the black a little bit more. Yep. Anyway, don't be afraid to get in there. You get in there with that. Get right in there. You can move that one, move ink around it. It's okay. All right, that's pretty good. It's going well. It's going well. Okay. Now, we need to make our marks. And I don't remember what end up is, so I got to peek. Okay, so this is up. You can tell by some of them have writing on them. Okay, oh, it might be this way. And you do want to double check on this stuff because this is the stuff that can break your heart once you realize you put the entire journal together upside down, inside out. Okay, let me go in the middle here. Okay, yeah, is that right? Yeah. No, I think it's this way. Yeah, I think that's good. All right. Now, okay, we're going to, let's just hold those all together because they're perfectly aligned. I want to go in the middle of the spine somewhere. And then grab a pen or a marker or a pencil or something that you're going to see the mark. Let's hope this works. It's a Sharpie pen. Let's see how sharp you are. Let's go super close. Super close. Not that close. There. Yeah, I'm just going to back up a little bit so you can see. Yep. There. Okay, so what I want to do is I want 3 holes in each of these. So, now it's not going to be easy to see because that's on a black thingy. So you want to make sure your signature block is equidistant. Mine's a little tall. I could have gone a little shorter. That's okay though. I think it's going to be all right. Let's just make sure we are north and south aligned. Yeah, that's good. Right there. All right. Now what I want to do is I want to mark this 4. Here, 4, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. And then down onto the spine. 2, 3, 4, and onto the spine. And then up here, about an inch down. 1, 2, 3, 4. So you're basically dropping a plumb line down. So I'm making a mark there. Are you making a mark? I think I got the mark. I'm making a bigger mark if I need to. Okay, can I see it? This is 1, 2, 3. Okay. So now let's turn this over here. And we have our spots here. 1, 2, and 3. Now what we do need are 3 equidistant-ish holes. So I'm feeling my spine. I'm going down about 1 inch. I see this one. He's not exactly in the middle. I'm going to actually put one here. I want to be on the spine here. Oh, we got 4. 1, 2. You know what? Let's get white. Let's get white. All right, I think I have some white gel pen, and this might save the day. These are going to be tight, but it's going to work, I think. All right, how do I know if I'm writing? I don't know. Well, let's just try if I get a dot. Okay, let's put this in the middle of my spine. Okay, so I put 1. Do I get a dot? I got nothing. Great. Okay, I know what we're going to do. I'm not out of ideas. I have another idea. This is going to work. Wow. You thought I was out of ideas. Nope. Nope, nope. We're going to use Nuvo drops. That's right. Okay, because my gel pen just isn't working there. So I've got this line denoting center. So I want 2 dots on this side. 1, 2, and then 3, and 4. And then I want to come down here, do the same thing. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and then down here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, there you go. I got my dots. And now I'm coming in hot with Crocodile 2 Big Bite. That's right. That's my top. Okay, I did not close that. I did not close that. Did you notice? I was so good about that. Okay. First of all, it would be really helpful if you moved all your stuff out of your way so you could actually do something, which I will now execute that in grand form. There, and have room. Okay, because I need somewhere to put my Crocodile 2 Big Bite. You guys can't see any of that. Okay, thank God you couldn't see that mess. Okay, so now I'm just going to go ahead and punch those right where I put you want the middle one, the small hole puncher. And you're just going to do those at 4 in a line. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so that is by far my best tip. Oh, I just punched those out of the same hole. Oh well, we'll figure that out. Using the Nuvo drops, the white on the dark background. Okay. And there we go. Okay. And now the bottom row. You don't have to really wait for these to dry. 1, 2, because it's not really a decoration. I don't think it's going to bother your Crocodile 2 Big Bite, but you know, if it does, you never saw it here. That's all I can say. All right, there we go. So now we have that. This is where I punch through, so that's expected, right? I think I morphed. I've got 3 in the top. That doesn't make sense. I think one kind of slid over. I'm going to need to make another hole. There are actually 2 holes there. It's just, oh yeah, and there is a division. Okay, we're going to be okay. It's all going to be all right. Everybody breathe. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and we're going to punch these babies. And I would make a recommendation, be it quite strong, to mark top somehow. And I think I'm just going to do like a little, this is going to be hidden. There's nothing happening here. Okay, there's a little mark. This is a pen. I thought it was a pencil earlier. There's like ridiculously nothing happening here. Okay. So here you'd want to get a pen that works. But this is, you know, just to show you how you barely need stuff that works and you can still make a journal. Okay, so I made these marks and these don't have marks. That's my top. Okay. It also doesn't hurt to know which is the front cover because these will rotate when you're doing things. So I would recommend maybe a pencil dot, and I'm going to make a grand effort and find a real pencil, because whenever I'm looking for a pen, all I find are pencils. Here's a pencil. When I'm looking for a pencil, all I find are pens. So I'm going to make a light. This is the front. That's just a pencil mark. I can erase it. Okay, no big deal. It's all right. It's going to be okay. Oh, is that it? Okay, 1, 2, 3. Yep, just a little dot. That's all you need. So you need top and you need front. And you are golden. And you will never have those nightmare moments of what on earth happened to my journal. Well, you might, but it won't be from that. Okay, so now we're going to punch holes in this. Where are we time-wise? Okay. Now you can, if you want to be really appropriate, you know, well, you don't have to do this, but you can if you want. It just keeps everybody together. Do that, okay? And if you really, really want to be sure about things, do this after. Because that keeps everybody down. See, this might have moved a little bit when I, yep, I think it did. Okay. Now you take that, front, top, you take this and you fold it back. I like to do this, fold it back. It helps guide my corner crocodile too big bite. Right? Oh, now this is a little hard for you to see. I'll do my best. Can I get that down there? Slide back. You can see it. I'm just putting that little, see that? I don't know if you can see that, but there's a puncher that's coming down, and I'm going to line it right over that little black dot. And that's where I'm punching. And so these are the marks that I made on the paper. 2, 3. Okay, I have that. And now I'm going to take the next one. Same thing. Okay, I'm not going to. I know this is my front top, but I'm just going to hold them because actually, if you hold them well, you're going to be all right. Because your hand acts like that paper clip. And you only need it when you're punching. And other than that, you're okay. There we go. Okay, that's 2. Okay. Nope. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Almost there. Get to the middle, fold it back upon itself so you can see your dots. I don't know where that middle dot went. See, this is, you know, if you don't have the middle dot, you're going to grab your other one. Now I know my front, I thought I had the dot on there, but apparently I didn't do the dot. So I know this is my front top, that's my front top. So I can very quickly get my dot back on here. There, and that would be there. Okay, that's all I needed. So that's how you get out of that, if that happens. Okay, holding it all together nicely. Punch. The actual punching part is not really hard. It's easy with this device. Gets that middle deep one in your book very nicely. All right. Okay, there you are. And then the last one. I would like, oh, I said no flowers, didn't I? That's fine. It's okay. No flower here. No one's ever hurt with a flower. Flowers are okay. All right. We'll grunge it up. Yeah, it'll be all right. Won't be so flowery. And Gothic style does have a lot of roses and skulls and things like that too, so you can go into that genre. These are great ways to save cool t-shirts, concert t-shirts, things like that. Okay. Da, 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 da. And that's the last one. All right, so maybe let's hang on. Okay, this is a grayish black waxed thread. And you take it 3 times the length. 1, 2, 3. Okay, and then you could do it again, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Do this 4 times because I have 4 signatures. 1, 2, 3. And that'll give you extra. 1, 2, 3. When you do it 3 times, you'll have plenty of extra. That's what I'm trying to say. You're not going to shortchange yourself. It's going to be all right. Yeah, it's going to be okay. All right, so now grab yourself a big a blunt end darning or yarn needle, just so that you don't poke yourself. And then we're gonna sew our journal together. Grab one of these at a time. Which one would I like to start with? Maybe the spooky trees. And just double check that's the top. Yes, that's the top. Okay. Thread this. Okay, I got one a little wonky. All right, there we go. All right. Oh, got two. Oh, no, that one's going to be the front. Let's make sure we know which ones are going where. This will be number 2. This will be number 3. Where's the dot? There's the dot. And here's number 4. So this guy will be in the back. Okay. Did I punch him? Yes. Here's my front dot. Okay. I'm going in the middle. Okay. Grabbing my book. Going in the farthest hole in the middle to the right. Starting from the back of the book. Right. Pulling. Going through here. And we're coming through the back. And you just want to leave a tail. That's all you need. That's all you need. Then you're going to come down to the bottom. Go in. Make sure you don't get hooked here. That's important. And then go in the back of the book. The bottom right hole. Watch that tail, it doesn't escape you. I just had an idea. If you're afraid that's going to escape you, put a little clamp on it and it won't get pulled through. How about that? Only 20 years of making these things. Okay, it hasn't been 20 years, but when I finally figured that out, that's happened to me about 1,000,000 times. I just heard a pile of papers fall off my desk. It was a big pile. Yep, okay. Now, you've got a bridge, okay? Orient. You've got a bridge, and you've got, yeah, 2 wings. Now you want to pull, snug, not tearing. Look around quickly to make sure that you're oriented correctly. And I got a little room at the top, a little room at the bottom, and everything's okay. So you want to pull, and then left over right, then right over left, and then one more in case you did it wrong. And that will lock your knot. Okay. Okay. Make sure they are right where they should be. Okay. I'm going to pull that down and cut it as long, you know, if you want them to dangle beyond your book, you can do that, but I'm not going to do that with this book. Take that out now, and this signature has been placed in position. We're going to get that bone folder of all bone folders, and we're going to train this paper. Yep. There we go. Just train it to lay flat. You're going to like that because then your book lays flat. Okay, the one and done. Okay, now there's a hole that's very close to that hole. All right, but we are going to use it. Okay, here we go. Same process. Whoopsies. There we go. And through. Okay. Then the second last signature. Through the middle. Through the third hole. Double check you're always going through the right holes, because let me tell you, it happens. Okay. And then we're going to go, well, maybe we might be going through the same hole. That's the way it goes. So even if you messed up your holes, which I had the right holes, but I don't think I went through the right hole, you can keep going and it still works. It's kind of magic like that. And if you're going to cover them up, it doesn't really matter anyway. So there you go. I'm not going to cover these up because I like the 1923 thing. And oops, I want to stay on the screen for you. If you paper clip these together, you don't do this little dance I'm doing right now. So there is value in leaving that there. Let me just, yeah, I see you now. Got you. Now I'm going through the third hole in the back. See, yep, that was the third hole. And then orient these little guys. Third hole through the middle, and then through this, which is kind of all nice and together now because the string is in it. And you can take this off now. You can take your thread off, and you can align these so that the paper's strings are more even. Snug. Double check orientation quickly. Snug, but not tearing. Okay, I mean left over right, and then right over left. And then one more for good measure. It doesn't really matter which way because I just think it's going to lock at some point. You must have done something right there in the midst of all that. Okay, there. Oops, there goes pen. And now we're going to train the paper. Oh, that's number 2. Okay, well, we're going to swash these babies in there. Where'd my needle go? That was... Hang on. Oh, there it is, way over there. Oh, goodness, who put it way over there? All right. 2 more of these, and we are golden. And you will have made a t-shirt book, which is kind of cool. So you can make a bunch of these now for the holidays, or you can make them later for the holidays, or just for fun or birthday gifts and stuff like that. These are very unique, personalized gifts that, yeah, people aren't going to really think of, and you're trying to get that person who's hard to buy for. You want to get them something unique. Maybe they're not clutter bugs and they, you know, don't want a lot of stuff, but maybe they want something that's meaningful. And, okay, just make sure you're going through the right hole. I cannot tell you. It will save a lot of woes. Okay, through the middle. Try not to splice your original thread. I got some of them through. And I went to, oh, I didn't put my little clamp on. See that? See how quickly we fall back to our old ways? Yeah, that's what happens. Get lazy. Now, I'm a bit of a lazy crafter, so, well, that you get what you get, but it's kind of cool sometimes. Yeah, sometimes you just get lucky and everything's okay. All right, now, checking for alignment. If you trimmed well, alignment should work. Okay, left over right, right over left. Okay, snug but not tearing. Left over right. Oh, is that the same way? I don't know. Okay, right over left. I forgot how many I've done now. See, this happens when I'm talking to you. Okay, we got a bunch in there, and it's going to be good. It's going to be very strong. Yes, it is. There. All right, now we're going to train that paper. That's what we do. So everything lies nice and flat. We got to reglue this. Okay. 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 Good. There we go. All right, I'll reglue that at the end. Here's the front. Here's this. Now I'm rolling. See, now that I've done a few of these, it's all good. Sometimes it takes a few to get rolling. So that's why I wanted you to see the whole process. Okay. Now do that. And you can use any papers. They don't have to be decorated papers. They can be plain. Or any kind of favorite papers that you have. Scrapbook papers, or if you found some pretty papers out there. Down through the middle front hole. Finishing the last one now. Oh, look at that. Wow, spearhead. That was awesome. And down, I think I do that again. Oh, yeah, it's all coming together because the book is getting tighter. I don't want to get too excited because it might not happen now. I already missed it. Okay. There we go. Okay. All right. There we go. Snug. Aligned. Okay. Left over right. Yes, snug. Okay. Right over left. Snug. And then one more. Pull. All right. Boop. All right. Okie dokie, pokey smoky. Where's my phone folder? Here it is. Okay. I think I need a little more glue right there. See that? And you only know when you know, and not a second before. All right, there you go. These are the last little things you kind of check for at the end. You might have a little, if you have a little peely uppy here, there you just go and you remedy it, and all is well. Okay. All right, so now, what on earth did we make? We made a very grungy gothic style book out of an old t-shirt. It's looking pretty cool. So, how'd it come out? Let's see. Mmm. Let me read just a little. Mmm. So yeah, pretty cool book, and I think we'll finish it off together. I'll just show you a few little things we can do in this style of a book and go from there. So, hope you had fun today. Let me see if I can find Snuffer Pants. He's around here somewhere. Hold on. Hello, everybody. This is Sunshine Cup Pup Reporter. I have been retrieved from the living room couch of which I was nesting on and blissfully sleeping, and now I'm here with you. So it's all good. Yes, it is. And look at that. That's really cool, Mom. That's really awesome. You can Sunshine has some sweaters that I give you permission to make junk journals out of, because let's just face it, Sunshine he's not a big sweater fan, and for some reason I absolutely freeze. Not cold, I mean I don't move when Mom puts a sweater on. And not that we're in sweater weather right now at all in Florida. This is July in Florida, and there ain't no sweaters in Sunshine's life right now. But come January, it's a different story. Let me tell you, Sunshine just immobilizes like boom, and I don't move. Because I think if I don't move, maybe the sweater will just fall off. But it doesn't. It stays on. I have to think about another strategy. I'll get back with you on that. So in the meantime, happy crafting. Love y'all. Bye. Okay, that was very nice. All right, everybody, take care. I have a new product link on my videos. I'm just starting to put those on there, so you're going to see some of those. I think it's at the bottom left of the screen if you want to see a lot of the products that I use making the videos, and also my newsletter. If you don't get that, you can sign up for that. You'll get a free digital image emailed to you every month, a checklist of supplies, a note from the bookmaker, and a page list of ideas and how to break a blank page. And also, yeah, the list of free supplies is really cool. It's very extensive. It's 500 items to keep your eyes open for. It's brand new. Check that out. It's at the very bottom of every newsletter in the freebie section. And I have an Etsy shop, so if you like journals and bundles and kits and fundles, when they're available, you will find them in my Etsy shop. And also, I have a print and mail service. I do sell printable images. They're called Digikits, and they're themed, and there's 5 pages each of multiple different images for a common theme, like butterflies, dragonflies, Victorian, celestial, postage stamps, you name it. And over 300. But if you don't like to print, all you need to do is buy the print and mail option and then send me a list of the 10 Digikit names that you want. You will receive 50 printed pages on nice lightweight cardstock, and that comes with free priority mail shipping as well. I also have an Amazon shop, and you're going to find links for some of the items that I use in the videos there as well. So it'll give you multiple options to find those links. That does help my shop, but you do not pay more for the items for using my links. And you can find me on Instagram, Pinterest, Twitter, LinkedIn, Facebook group. Come and join our Facebook group. We're having a lot of fun doing weekly and monthly challenges and seeing what you guys make on these videos. And remember, most of all, that fun can be simple, like turning a cool t-shirt into a junk journal. And remember to create with reckless abandon, everybody. I'll see you next time. Bye.